What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we're taking a look at Echoes of the End, and a huge shout out to Deep Silver and the devs who did supply me with a copy of the game to check out, and that's always very appreciated. But I don't think any of us really expected to run that great on the Steam Deck. There are areas where it does just fine, but we do have to keep settings down pretty much to low and use a lot of upscaling to get us there. And I do think there's a lot of room for improvement, and they do seem to be aware of some performance issues. But again, this is a heavy Unreal Engine 5 game, and I don't think we necessarily expected to run great on the deck, but I still wanted to check it out here and see how playable it was. So at 800p, no caps on the frame limit for the video or anything like that. We have FSR 3.1 available to us, which we'll check out, and also TSR, which I'm going to wind up using in here, and frame generation. So we'll take a look at all that. And I just left things on low because ticking anything up really just makes things worse as we go. So if I'm just standing still here with around 27 FPS with the low FSR quality at the 800p in this particular spot, and as we switch this over to balanced, we'll go up to about 29. Again, it's a very heavy game right now, and it's a lot to run, so we're not going to gain a lot with these changes. If we take this up to performance from balanced, we will get up to about that 30-31 FPS, so it is more doable, but of course we introduce a lot more image quality issues as we go up. If we go to ultra performance, we can actually get up to 36-37 FPS standing right here, which was actually pretty good. So if you had to kind of pull for emergency lever, you could go ultra performance if you had to get the FPS, but it is going to look pretty rough in a lot of areas. Frame generation you can tick on and have the manual GPU clock at 1600 and run it pretty well here as far as doubling the frame rate for the most part, but it feels pretty horrible in this game compared to other ones I've tried frame gen in, like Mafia, the Old Country, which worked pretty well. There's a lot of input latency and I really didn't like it, especially in battles, so I just kept that off and the game just felt a lot better even with the lower FPS, but everybody's going to have their own preference there. Now TSR actually looks and runs pretty well on here, and I think that's what I would stick with if I wasn't using frame generation at 70%, 24 FPS, and we go to 50%, we've been around 28, 29 FPS, which is kind of like balanced on the FSR side, but it does look a bit better on here. Now, if we take this down to 40%, we can actually come up to around 31 FPS, 32, which is just a tad better than that performance FSR, and that's what I wound up using a good bit here for my gameplay, and I felt like worked out pretty well considering how things are running. But because of how the game does run now, and I think there's room for improvements and patches, even though this is a game that would be heavy for the Steam Deck to run, or really any of the handhelds, I will be checking on it from time to time and seeing how performance goes, playing farther into it, and all that kind of stuff. But I just wanted to take a quick look and see how things were doing now as far as performance at launch, and always want to try this stuff on the Steam Deck just because it is a lot of fun to see how it will run. But anyways, guys, thanks a lot for coming and check out the video. As always, I really appreciate it. I'm going to leave you with some gameplay here that you can check out of some different areas of performance. Alright, thanks a lot, and I'll see you in the next one.
Get ready for a fight.
Show no mercy!
That's it.
Quick, the gate.
Are you even trying? Let's turn up the heat.
You can call me Ren.
Well then, Ren, I don't suppose you happen to know the way out of here?
No. This passage must have opened in one of the landslides. I've never been here before, but it doesn't smell too musty. Follow the fresh air and we'll find an exit.
The nose knows. Always a sound bit of wisdom.
Sure.